All right, what's up, Tech? I'm super excited for today's video. We are going to be taking a look at ticker symbol MU. Okay, this is Micron Technology. And this is a chip company. All right, and we're going to start off looking at the daily chart here, and I'm just going to show you guys what I'm paying attention to on the daily chart. Okay, this is one of my favorite bullish setups that we're currently in right now in the stock market, but I'm not in it. Okay, so I'm not telling you guys to put all your money in it. I'm just watching. Okay, I'm observing and I'm preparing for a possible breakout or a breakdown. All right. The first thing I want to dive into, which you may be a little bit confused by, is all of these blue rectangles and boxes on the chart. These are what's known as daily gaps. Okay, if you look in between this candlestick and this candlestick, there was a nice gap that was in between those. Okay, I like to highlight these areas because these are areas that tend to fill about 90 to 95% of the time historically in the stock market. Um, so the main question is not if it's going to fill, it's a matter of when is it going to fill, right? And you have to, be mindful of the, market sentiment, news, a lot of things. Are we in a bull market or a bear market, right? With that being said, you can see that we have this box down here, okay? I know that in a bear market, gaps down are going to fill. Okay. So, this gap down here to 52, a lot of people may have, wondered why we broke this support level here of about like 53.63. Well, there was a gap down that we really needed to fill. And you can see that we came here, wicked, filled that gap. The price action did not stay down there long. Okay. It's just, the algorithms needed to fill that gap. Buyers quickly came in, filled that gap, and the next day we exploded out of there. All right. Part of the reason we exploded out of there is something known as bullish divergence. I'm going to highlight it real quick. We have a low and a low right here. Okay. So what we're doing is we're creating a low and a lower low. All right. If we look at our relative strength index, all right, which is an indicator you can use that judges, the relative strength of a stock at its current price level, we can see that the relative strength actually went up, to a higher low. All right. And from that point, we had a very strong rally, and you can see the RSI continued up, and the stock also continued up. If we look at it, that was roughly about a 15% rally in 4 days. That's really amazing stuff. Okay, a lot of people, if they could catch a 15% day trade, in 4 days, they'd be really, really happy and satisfied with themselves. Okay, so that's one way that traders look to spot these things, right? Is we're looking to see, is the relative strength increasing as the price of the stock is actually dropping? If so, there's a chance that you could have this bullish divergence and see, some bullish activity in the future. All right. So now that we have that, we have our bullish divergence trend line, which is an area, if we come back down to, we have bounced before. Okay. So patterns don't have to repeat themselves, but they tend to repeat themselves. Okay. So there's no guarantee. If there was, we'd all be billionaires, but we're not. Okay. So that's why you're watching this video. And that's why I'm trying to break it down and help you guys out. Okay. So look to see if we come down. All right. And, price action falls. We want to see, is the bullish divergence trend line going to be a valid support level? So you could look and try to wait for it to come down. All right. And if we do pull back, all right, now why am I saying we'll pull back if I'm saying I'm bullish on this? Well, there's so much fear out and FUD across the market. All right, the stock has already been obliterated this year, but even now, currently, July 14th at the time of this recording, there's still so much fears. Okay, CPI data just came out yesterday, PPI just came out today. We have the FOMC meeting in 2 weeks. So, there is a possibility, all right, that, things could pull back more. All right. But if we're able to hold this 53.63 support level, okay, and we come back down and we bounce around here, this is going to give us our right shoulder, the beginning of a right shoulder. Okay. So that's what this pattern is right here. You're looking at, it's an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and it's a bullish pattern. Okay. So we want to see, are we going to, we have a left shoulder here formed, we have a head. All right. We're really at this critical breakout level right here at 58.49. That's our major resistance level. If we're able to open and close above there, okay, because as you see, we haven't, right? We haven't had one green candle open and close above there. We had some open below and close above. And then next day we come back down. We had this one open right near it, okay, but still below it, right, and close above it. And we just keep coming down afterwards. Okay, so and we're battling that resistance really, really hard right now. But you can see that, we haven't had a green candle open and close above it. So once I get that confirmation, we could be, that could be confirmation we're heading up to fill the gap up to $62 and about 30-40 cents. All right. Above that, we have another small gap up to about 65.84 on the chart that I'm watching. Let's just call it 66. All right. And finally, we have the third gap up that I'm watching up to about 73.05. Okay. So, there is a potential that these could fill in the short term, meaning over the next couple months, right? But if not, and economic conditions, just keep worsening, and inflation keeps getting worse. Let's say there's another COVID outbreak or something like that. We may have to wait for the next bull market cycle for those gaps to fill. But it's something I'm watching. I definitely think you guys should be watching it too. You can either try to catch the bounce off of the bullish divergence trend line, okay? And you just think about it. If we pull back, right, to try to form this right shoulder, we're also going to pull back on the RSI and look at that bullish divergence. So my main thing is I'm going to be looking for an entry right around this area in here. Okay. And if I don't get it, that's fine, but it'll be really easy risk reward ratio. Okay. So, you can enter here at 55 and below, okay, and have a stop loss maybe at 53.63 or just below 53.63, maybe at like 52. All right, whatever your own risk reward ratio is. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know anybody's financial situations, so I'm just trying to break down some technical analysis. All right, but that would be a nice setup to me, right? Is if we come down and we say, hey, now we're forming a right shoulder here. I know, if we break this major support, start opening and closing below there, most likely we're heading lower. So I can cut my losses quickly. But to the upside, I have lots of potential. Okay. You can ride the momentum. Let's look at this trend line right here, and let's look at the value real quick. All right. And we can see that that's potentially a 32% move that you could get risking, 5%. Okay. So, that's a very nice ratio. That's about a 1-to-6 ratio. You have your risk and reward clearly defined. And if that's something you like, that's something that I'm going to be, watching for as well. Now, we may not, go ahead and pull back. Okay. We could break out past this level. All right. And then I would be looking for confirmation that we're going to hold this level and try to ride that momentum up towards this gap fill and take some profits there. Um, that's basically how I would play this. Okay. But don't forget overall sentiment. We can take a look at our moving averages. We're far below the 50 SMA, far below the 100 SMA, and even farther below, the 200 SMA. Okay. So those are the main things I'm watching on MU. It's got some nice setups. And, I basically do viewer requests every single week. I just wanted to throw that in there. So, if you like this video and you want to see some more and you want your stock to be in the next video, make sure you comment below. Okay.